Well, welcome back to my kitchen. We are home from the hospital with Aiden. He is doing much better. He didn't do well right away, but he's doing better. So, no rest for the weary. I got to get right back into mommy mode and start cooking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another quick and easy, and then we'll get back into doing a lot of the other things. But this is called beef and noodles. That's what it is. But it's a very, very inexpensive meal, and I'm going to show you what that is when we get over there. So without further ado, let's get it, let's go. Let's hit those pots. Come on. You're going to need to make this meal. In the back, you're going to need a bag of egg noodles. You're going to need some onion powder, garlic powder, some coarse salt or kosher salt. I'm going to skip over the country crock and come back to that in a minute. You're going to need some garlic minced, beef broth. I'm using bouillon, olive oil, pepper, parsley. It calls for sage. I'm out of it, so the closest cousin is the marjoram. You're going to need an onion, some ground meat, beef, turkey, chicken, whatever you choose. You're going to need some cheese, about 4 ounces. When it comes to the heavy whipping cream, that is plant-based. I can't use milk, so we always sub it out for heavy whipping cream. You can absolutely use heavy whipping cream in this, but if you don't have it, you could use milk. Oh, I also forgot one item that's not out here, which is Worcestershire sauce. So that's not out here, but that's something you would need. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up that onion, and we're going to shred the cheese so it's in the refrigerator ready to go, and then we're going to start cooking the turkey. Slice up an onion however you want. I'm going to do it this way. Come down the center. My onions are getting old, I can see it. And then I'm going to just that. Just as simple as you can get. Boom, boom, boom. All the way through. Coming down the home stretch there. I shredded up the cheese. There's no right or wrong way to do it. You can hunk it up if you want and just stick it in there. So I'm not going to show you that, but I'll show you when we get to that point how I shredded it. Okay? Let's move on over to the stove. Before I move over, I just wanted to show you, I took the beef bouillon, 4 teaspoons. I added it to 4 cups of water, and that's the broth I'm going to use. All right, so we're going to put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of the pan. And we're going to start cooking the onions first, not the meat. To this, we're going to add a little bit of pepper and some salt to the onions. And a pinch of the coarse salt. That was a small pinch. So we're going to give that about a minute or 2, not long, to cook. And then we'll start adding the rest. We just want these to soften down a little bit. To this, we're going to add either sage or marjoram, if I'm saying it right. Half a teaspoon of onion powder. Teaspoon of garlic. Got to give that a minute. Just want to bring out the, let me turn that down just a pinch. Give that a second. It says to add a bunch of garlic. It says 6 cloves, so I'm going to put a ton of it in there. Okay. And now we're going to add the beef. Just want to give that a second till I smell it. All right. Then goes the beef, or in my case, the ground turkey. And I'm going to add some of the W sauce to it. Once I get it all. Oh, that garlic smells so good. I'm going to put in at least 2 capfuls. So that's about a teaspoon. 1, I think I turned that down too low. 2. I wonder if that is a teaspoon. Let's find out. That was exactly a teaspoon. I measured it. All right, so we're going to brown up the meat with the onions. This is a very quick moving recipe. Turn it up a little bit. All right, let's give that a minute to brown up. You know, I should have cooked this in a sauce pot because I'm not sure if it's big enough to hold the pasta. So I'm going to transfer this over to a pot because we're gonna cook the egg noodles and everything right in here. So I'm just going to change over to my yucky pot. To this, we're going to add 12 ounces. I'm going to add just a little bit more because that's what's in the bag. And I got a large family. So I'm just going to add it in there. And if I need to add more sauce, more broth, I will. To this, we're going to add the beef broth. Like I said, if I need more, I'll add more. It's got to be submerged. Yeah, see, it's not going to be enough, but let me add the heavy whipping cream or your thing, 1.5 cups. Yeah, so let me just make up a little bit more of the broth. Okay. Just enough to get them in there. Let that cook down just a little bit before I add any more because the noodles will soften down and they'll go down. Just keep an eye on it. Gonna give that a minute. So we're gonna bring that to a simmer, but meanwhile, we're gonna add a couple of pinches of some more kosher salt. 1. Whoop! Just dropped it all over the stove. 2. Add some extra pepper. And we're gonna get that to not a rolling boil, but a simmer, and then we're gonna reduce the heat to low. So let me get that to simmer in, and then we'll show you the next step. Okay, so I got it to a boil. You can't really see it, but I'm going to reduce it to a very low simmer. And we're going to let this simmer, but we're going to keep an eye on it so that it doesn't burn until the noodles get al dente. So I'm going to reduce this down to a medium. Just to a slow simmer. Whatever number that is for you. Now we're going to cook it uncovered. That's going to take anywhere between 6 to 10 minutes. All right, we're coming down the home stretch here. I'm going to give this a little taste for some seasoning. We're going to let it cool down, and then we're going to add some cheese. All right, so I poured it back into my flat pan so you can see what it's looking like. And we're just going to let that sit for a minute, and then we're going to stir in some cheese. Before I come back, I'm going to take some out for Eric so that he can have the non-dairy cheese. I'm going to start on Eric's first. This is what I'm using. I'm just going to add a little bit to his. Same thing I'm going to be doing to ours, only his will have the Daya cheddar in it. All right, so I let it sit for a couple of minutes just to get the, super hot out of it. And we're going to add some cheese to it. It's supposed to get mixed in. It says 4 ounces, so half of that block of cheese. So, just going to add some in there. And mix it around. And I got a little bit extra for the top. Well, not extra. It's still only 4 ounces. We're just going to give that a nice mixy boo. And I have a little bit of beef broth left. I'm just going to add it to help it. Because Eric's need a little bit of, you know, little gojo in there to move it around. And there we go. I'm going to put a little bit of cheese on top. And then we're going to let it finish melting down with the lid on it. And then I'm going to meet you at the plate. A little bit I got left. Just going to sprinkle it around just for the pretty. Okay. All right, I'm going to meet you at the plate as soon as that melts. And there you go. Now let's get to the plate. I remember I had some parsley out earlier. It's really for the garnish. That's all I'm doing is just putting some on top for the pretty. There you go. I had some leftover bread, so I'm going to serve it up with a slice of bread. Now I'm going to meet you at the table.
If you get any benefit at all from my content, you can help me out by clicking like, share, commenting, and definitely hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video.
We're at the table. I don't know why I got so much more than you. You eat more than I do. He's got some of that pot over there, I'm sure. Yummy. Look at my plate.
I cannot wait to try.
Yeah, he did taste part of it, but that was before I added the cheese and everything to it. Because I had to ask him how much did he want, but I was pouring it out. So, just for the sake of honesty, I'm just going right for that. You ready? Mm-hmm. All right, go. That's good. That's really good.
That is delicious.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You gotta try that. I'm sure it would be better if you use beef, but because it's so expensive and we don't mind the ground turkey, that's what I'm doing.
It's amazing.
It is?
Yes.
Yay. All right, let me get everybody else fed. Let's see what they think about it. And I'll see you at the wrap up. Bye-bye. Dinner's over. How we do? Boom. Look at that. Nothing left. Now with the broccoli and the slice of bread is all we have with that. We got 12 servings out of that, 12 of our servings. It may be different for you, but we got 12 out of that. Let's see what everybody thought. Now, Yaya ate hers. She said it was good, but she had to go. Trey's plate is put up. Let's go on to the next. Nick, what'd you think about dinner?
It was really great.
Aiden, how'd you feel about dinner?
I loved it.
Eric, what'd you think about dinner?
It was great.
Tyler?
It was awesome.
Jessica?
It was really nice. I had 2 plates.
Cool beans. Blaze?
It was wonderful.
Thank you. And Joe?
You outdid yourself.
Awesome. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think that if you could do beef, it would be better, but I don't mind the turkey. I really did enjoy it. So that's it. I hope you try it. Hope you like it. Leave me a comment. See you later. Bye.